It wasn't too long after my 30th birthday that I received an interesting email that said, "Send me your resume. I think we finally have an opportunity for you overseas." When I responded, I found out that they wanted me to be part of a project that would start centers of influence in the Middle East and North Africa region. A center of influence is basically anything that allows Adventists to build relationships with people that are different than them. Over and over as I did my needs assessment, we would run into community leaders who said, "Please do something for the Syrians because they're overwhelming our system." Right now in Lebanon, 1 in every 3 people that you meet is a refugee. Because Lebanon is such a small country, the infrastructure is unable to keep up with the amount of people that have come in because of the Syrian war. After finishing the needs assessment, it really came out that the main need that the refugees had was for education. And even though I didn't know anything about education, God surrounded me with people who were able to help me and pick up the slack. And 4 months after I entered the country, Adventist Learning Center was ready to open its doors and serve refugee children living around Beirut. In 2013, we opened Adventist Learning Center, which is an alternative education center that basically gives Syrian refugees the push that they need to get back to grade level and eventually enter into regular schools. From the original 55 children we started with in 2013, now in 2019, we have over 115 children that come in grades 1 through 8 every school year. Working with refugee kids isn't always easy. They come from a very traumatized past that we've never experienced and we don't really understand. Many times they're very withdrawn or angry, and it's our job at Adventist Learning Center to make sure that not only do they get an education, but they also have an opportunity to be kids again and to feel like normal people, like everyone else, even though they may live in a single room with their entire family, without any windows, without a proper bathroom or a kitchen, or maybe they don't have food to eat regularly. Whatever the case may be, our job is to make them feel like life is normal for at least these 8 hours that they're at school every day. I realized that what we were doing in traditional academics wasn't really connecting with the kids who had experienced trauma. So we switched to what we call project-based learning. And project-based learning is basically kids doing things to learn the skills that they need to learn instead of separate classes. So many days when you walk into class, it looks more like little girls with power tools and boys measuring their growth of their plants and other kids playing math games than like what you would typically expect walking into the school. And as we switch to this model, we've noticed that the kids' English has dramatically improved, and their ability to communicate, to collaborate, to problem solve, to work through the frustrations that they have with each other has also changed. It's been almost 6 years since I started Adventist Learning Center, and I'm still working there as the director of the project. When I meet people in the US, they always tell me, "You're so brave. I could never do that. I would never want to live in the Middle East." But for me, it's just like one big adventure. It's an adventure that God knew I wanted to go on since I was very young. And even though it didn't happen in the time that I expected, when I was persistent and when I continued being open, God eventually opened the door when the time was right and allowed me to do something that I never really imagined I would do. I am a steward because God is an adventure fulfiller.